Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us for the 2025 Pathways Enhancement Launch Workshop. It's wonderful to see so many Toastmasters from across District 17 and around the world here tonight. As Program Quality Director, I'm proud to lead this session in alignment with our district mission. We build new clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence. The enhancements to Pathways are a direct reflection of that mission. They're designed to make the learning experience more engaging, accessible, and relevant, empowering clubs to deliver and helping members grow with confidence. Tonight's workshop will explore what's new, how it benefits you and your club, and how we can work together to make the most of these improvements. I'm excited to share insights, hear your questions, and learn from our guest speakers. So let's get started. Just a week ago, on the Wednesday, the 22nd of October, you would have received an email like this. Not everyone received an identical email. It depended on whether you were active with the current paths, whether you'd started Pathways at all, or whether you were someone not working in an English-speaking new path, maybe just a legacy path. And the point of the email was to let you know these pathway enhancements were now live. And that's what we're going to go through tonight. There are two key changes to the Pathways programs that were launched. One is the requirement to complete specific meeting roles at each pathway level, level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And to deliver presentations from the Toastmasters educational series at level 3, 4, and 5. And these educational series are a minimum of 10 to up to, let's say, 15 minutes, and they are from 3 different series: the Successful Club series, the Better Speaker series, and the Leadership Excellence series. We'll go through those shortly. Tonight, this workshop focuses on the changes that can be seen in the 6 pathways that were launched last year. For several of you, you might be still working only in the legacy paths. You will not see any of the changes that have been launched in the legacy paths. If perhaps you are working in a translated path, you will also not see any of these changes. They are planned to come out in translated paths sometime in the future. They are not ever going to come into the legacy paths. So if you want to see these changes, it's time to perhaps sign up for one of these 6 paths: dynamic leadership, engaging humor, motivational strategies, persuasive influence, presentation mastery, and visionary communication. So why are these changes being made? You, the member, asked for them. Maybe not you specifically, but the fact is thousands upon thousands of members around the world have been asking, why can't we get credit for all the work we do in these roles at our clubs? We used to in an old competent leadership program, but not anymore. TI listened. There was also the wealth of really useful information in the educational series that used to be done in the old program. It was classic, valuable information that could be recovered and put into Pathways, and that's what we're going to see tonight. Ultimately, the implementation of getting recognition for meeting roles and for completing these educational series at the higher levels means that we can engage our members more. We're going to raise the quality of our meetings, and people are going to be excited. The ones walking in the door for the first time, for the members that are here in our clubs who are wondering whether they'll stay or not, and for those who aspire to leadership roles. There's something for everyone with these enhancements. It's going to encourage more knowledge sharing, not just drawing off past experience, but guided, structured learning, and that is what you're going to get with the educational presentations. And ultimately, this fosters collaboration and commitment to apply best practice, something we should all be endeavouring to do. So let's focus on the meeting role requirements. Why are they there? Basically, meeting roles are core to the Toastmasters experience, aren't they? Taking on the roles on the roster, and each club tends to have a couple of different roles maybe that are a variation. By encouraging people to complete their levels and therefore have a requirement to perform certain roles, they're going to learn more because they're doing more, and this is going to build their skill level. It also means that these specific roles actually have a purpose that connects and enhances the meaning of their pathway projects, appropriate to the level that they're at in Pathways. And when we get all our members, not just a few reliable ones doing key roles like the Toastmaster or General Evaluator, when all members contribute to our quality meetings, the club is going to become stronger. It's going to become more successful, and we're going to lose fewer clubs because the mojo is going to be back. So what are these requirements now? I've spelled them out in this table. This is one I've created. So at level 1, you have to do a table topic before you do anything. So a brand new member needs to do a table topic response. I think that's pretty common. But did you know you can have a guest answer a table topic, and should they join, that will count. It is allowed to meet that requirement. Obviously, at level 1, you're giving speeches. You have a requirement to do an evaluation, but you also need to do one of 2 other roles, timer or R counter. Level 2, of course, you've got speeches and you've got an obligation to do evaluations, but now it's time to take up the mantle and do table topic master. Be the grammarian, and then you've got a choice of one other role, to be the Toastmaster, to be the timer, or the R counter. And then we come to level 3, speaker evaluator yet again. You've already got Toastmaster under your belt, so you do Toastmaster again. But now you have a choice of 3, table topics speaker, table topic master, or introductory mentor. This is informal. This is where you agree to help a new member with that first speech, or a existing member who's really needing some assistance to present a particular topic. Maybe you're someone who's just helping someone get over a crisis of confidence or picking a topic. It's just an informal role, and you let the VPE know that you've performed that role. At level 4, speaker and evaluator, of course, being the Toastmaster and the general evaluator now comes into play, as well as the table topic speaker or the table topic master or a specialized role. In many clubs, you have a different role to other clubs. At several of my clubs, we have the role of Hark Master, or in some countries, this is referred to as Quiz Master. That's what we mean by a specialized role. Just a role that your club has, and you can pick anything, and that will meet the requirement. And then at level 5, not many people are there, but that's where you should all be aspiring to. And that's where we've got the speaker, evaluator times 2, the Toastmaster times 2, general evaluator times 2, and then one other role, and they're all listed here. You've done them through the previous levels. But it also includes club mentor, informal. What have you done to help mentor the club to excellence? Well, if that's the meeting roles, what about the educational series roles? This is where they're being introduced because we want to strengthen not just the member growth, but also our efforts to raise the quality of club meetings to help the club achieve excellence, part of our district mission. So there are 3 educational series I mentioned. The Successful Club series, There are roles that presentations that can be delivered at levels 3, 4, and 5. You have choices. And these are all designed to help the member understand what it means to make the club experience excellent. You're going to hear an example of one such presentation tonight. Then the Better Speaker series. These are topics that you can well relate to. They're performed at level 4. You only do one, but the fact is you've got a selection that you can choose from. And they're all designed to help educate your members on how they can improve aspects of their preparation and speech writing, as well as their delivery. You're hearing one on body language tonight. And then Leadership Excellence series. These are required at level 5, and you just need to do one of them. And it's about developing stronger, more informed leaders within and outside Toastmasters. And you'll also be doing a successful club series at that level. So what are these series? Some of you know them from the past, others have never heard of them. But look at the plethora of options that you have. So you're only going to be doing one of the successful club series at level 3 and at level 4 and at level 5. But look at all the choices. Better Speaker series, you just do them at level 4, but you'll be doing a successful club also at level 4. And then at level 5, again, you're going to be hearing one tonight from Ross Wilkinson, and you do a successful club and one level 5 from the Leadership Excellence series. So now I'm going to do a quick demonstration, and Juliana, I'll need that verbal warning. So I will just go to my Edge, just confirming that you can see my welcome to Basecamp.
Yes.
Yes, all of you should know how to get to Basecamp. It's the first tile when you log into your profile, when you log into Toastmasters. Now, I'm doing multiple paths. Many of you might only be doing one, but it doesn't matter. You click on the path to start your process like you would normally. Now, I've pre-prepared my tabs to make this faster. It will normally take you to where you left off, which for me is in this particular path up to my electives. And here you might notice that we have a line here at the top. Each of our paths, you'll see a new line, a new line. This is where you should go to first to see the requirements. So let's go to our level 1 path. When you do and click on that top line, it will show you level 1 mastering fundamentals. And when you click the little arrow, otherwise known as a caret, you will see level 1 requirements or level 2, 3, 4, and the checklist. And in the requirements, there's an overview. There's resources at the top, but you need to move down. You need to see what your required projects are. These are the ones you're familiar with. But the new information is below that, the required meeting roles. At level 1, you only have to do roles. There's no educational series. So, table topics, speaker, and it's telling you what and why. And what's terrific about this is it says, how do these roles work together? So the resources needed for that are here. And let me point out, many of you have never looked at a script or had a log page to do the timer roll. You're just writing on the agenda. The same with the R counter, a scrap of paper. Now we've got really useful guides that have always been available, but they're really present now in Pathways. But I want to mention this, how to evaluate. This is amazing. It is a dedicated module. It's based on the evaluation module in level 1. But the cool thing about this tutorial is that there's an interactive element. You get to complete an evaluation form, and then the narrator has also completed a form. You watch the same speech, you judge it, well, I should say evaluate it, and then your results are recorded and you compare them to the narrators. And the narrator will explain why they gave the score for each of the criteria. I've never seen it before. It's invaluable. Even if you're at level 5, go back to level 1 and do this tutorial in one of the new paths. Okay, let's look at level 2. Same thing, when you click on that top line in the overview, you will see that you get the requirements and the checklist. So let's have a look at a checklist. A checklist says, just remember that these are the things you need to do, and you can self-monitor. You can check them off or you can deselect them. But here's something cool you can do. Add a new task. I've got to be the Toastmaster of the day. I was Toastmaster of the day yesterday at my club. So I can say Toastmaster of the day on the 30th of October at Toasting Human Energy. And I can add it. So you can add little notes to yourself, but this is a great way to track what you do and then check it off. You could take a screenshot of this when you've completed it to let your VPE know, but you will, of course, be going to completion at the end and filling in the boxes and completing your requirements. So let's have a look at level 3. This is where the educational series comes in. So this is where I reminded you to look at your required projects. And this is where it mentions you must do 1 from the successful club series. And then when you scroll down, you see that there's 4. There were more, but at level 3, they're saying do 1 of these 4. And by clicking on this, you will launch the download for the actual program. So by selecting it and clicking Learn More, you'll get a pop-up that says download the manual, and you'll get 2 items in the manual. You will get a facilitator guide, so it's almost a script for the presentation, and separately you'll get a PowerPoint slide deck. And tonight you're going to see 3 examples of how people use this material. Let's look at level 4. Here we now have in the requirements, not 1 from, sorry, you need to do 1 from the Successful Club series, and there's different ones here. And then Better Speaker series, and you get all of them here. And then the required meeting roles are summarized below. So I know I'm going through this quickly, but the idea is to just guide you. I'm teaching you how to fish. I'm not giving you the fish. So by going to each of these overviews and checking the requirements and the checklist, you'll see that you've got 2 interactive screens that really help you set yourself up for success for that level. So looking at level 5 now, we've got that overview, all the resources for the possible roles that you could be doing, the required projects, and that you have to do 1 successful club series, 1 leadership, and then the actual options are listed there for you, including your required meeting roles. How fabulous is that? So you might be saying, how am I going to keep track of all of this? I'm going to give you some tips in a moment, but I'm going to show you something that maybe you're not familiar with. When you're in Basecamp, whatever view you might be in, so I'll just go back to home. In the top right corner is your name. And when you select it, you will see my profiles and my clubs for the clubs that you're in. So if you click on profile and you scroll down, you'll see meeting roles. And this for many of you is empty. You've not recorded anything. But it's very easy to do because you just click on the pencil, select a role. I was the Toastmaster yesterday, select a date. Here you can just click on the little calendar, say it was the 30th, and click save. And there it is, my Toastmaster role for yesterday. So very quick and easy, and you can easily delete it if you've made a mistake. But a Basecamp manager sees this differently. Basecamp manager can go in and they can see that they can look up an individual. And here I'm going to look up Juliana, who's a member of one of my clubs, Zoom Masters, and view her profile. She's in 2 clubs listed there, and there I can see her meeting role. So as a Basecamp manager, particularly the VPE, if you want to check off what roles they may have done in the past when you go to approve them, you've got a quick and easy way of doing that. So there you have it, a quick demonstration of how to move through each of your levels to identify what's required and to complete it. And then for a base camp manager, they're able to go and check what roles you've done. But after we've had our educational series, I look forward to just walking you through a few more things about tips and tricks for the base camp managers, but also for you as members.